Haki, an ability so integral to the One Piece story that some would argue that it is the most important ability to have. But why is that? Today I'm going to explain why Haki is the deciding factor of whether or not a character can or will succeed. In order to do that, we must first understand what Haki is and how it's used. Also, you'll see in the background me drawing a One Piece character. Who it is, you'll just have to find out. So what is Haki? Well, it's the manifestation of an individual's willpower. And in order to improve on this ability, you have to train it in strenuous battle, kind of like a muscle. The way that Haki is used is in 3 different forms: observation, armament, and conqueror's Haki. So we're going to start with observation Haki. This form of Haki is a heightening of one's senses and depth perception to that of superhuman levels. And when I say superhuman levels, people are able to dodge bullets because of this. And when someone trains their observation Haki to the highest level it can be, you get the ability to sometimes look into the future. Case in point, Katakuri and Shanks. Now, this is not to say it's the only form of advanced observation Haki, but it is one of it. Another form of observation Haki is your ability to see one's spirit. Or aura. Aura makes more sense. Your ability to see one's aura. Case in point, Usopp in Dressrosa, when he was looking at Luffy, Law, and Sugar. He wasn't able to directly see them, but he saw their aura, and that's what helped him line up his shot. And the third form that we have seen, I'm pretty sure there's going to be more than just this, but the third form that we have seen is from Luffy. Luffy, when he was fighting Katakuri, was trying to use the same thing Katakuri was doing, that being the looking in the future. But it doesn't work like that for everyone. So Luffy's form of advanced observation Haki was just him taking his raw battle sense and just being able to understand when a punch was coming off of reflex. Luffy couldn't look in the future, but he could feel the reflex and was able to avoid some punches from Katakuri. Those are the only 3 forms that we have seen, or that I know of. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be more than just those forms. And it would be really nice to get some more fleshed out observation Haki from Usopp and maybe Luffy. Because Luffy, we only really saw him do it one time. So it'd be really nice for him to improve upon that. Next in line is armament Haki. Now, it's also called the color of arms. What that is basically hardening one's skin or weapon to that of making it almost impervious to being broken. Now, that's not to say it can't be broken, but it makes it much harder to do, which is why armament Haki is so important for swordsmen like Zoro, Mihawk, and that other such. Now, the reason armament Haki is so important is because, say you're going up against a Logia like Smoker, Crocodile, or Ace. If you're not able to use armament Haki, it's literally impossible for you to fight any Logia unless you're a direct counter to them. Example, Luffy fighting Enel. Luffy was made of rubber, quote unquote, but Enel cannot touch Luffy with his lightning. He had to do a roundabout way of affecting Luffy. Same thing with Crocodile. Luffy couldn't touch Crocodile, but when water was available, it is a direct counter to Crocodile. So that's what helped Luffy win that fight. Because he didn't have Haki at that time, but if he did, it would have made those fights way easier. That's why armament Haki is so important, because without it, you're going up against Logia, you're cooked. Now, some advanced forms of armament Haki, which there's not really too many, are Katakuri. Again, we just see his armament Haki is just way more beefed up from the many years of fighting, and it was just harder for Luffy to even punch him. Luffy even said his punches are strong because his armament Haki was built up after so many fights. Then we have Virgo, and Virgo isn't necessarily an advanced form. It was just the fact that Virgo, to this point, is the only character we've seen that had full body Haki, or full body armament Haki. He is, to this point, the only character we've seen, or that I can think of. Then we have Luffy in Wano more recently learning the Riwo technique. And this technique is basically you imposing your will onto something else. You're forcing your will onto it. And we can see that when Luffy was breaking that collar that had the bomb on it, and when Luffy was punching that tree. He was imposing his will onto the object at hand and basically destroying it from the inside out. It is also speculated that when a swordsman infuses their sword with Haki, if you do it after a long enough period of time, that you could possibly turn your blade into a permanently black blade, like Mihawk or Shisui. That is not confirmed, nor is it denied. So we're still trying to see if that's true or false, but take that one with a grain of salt. Then we have Conqueror's Haki. This is arguably the most important and also the rarest form of Haki, because in order to obtain this form of Haki, you have to have a high enough will to utilize this. And what Conqueror's Haki does is allows you to basically force out your will to those around you in your surroundings and just basically impose your will upon them, like making them submit, essentially. And the reason I say Conqueror's Haki is the most important is because if you're like a pirate captain, for instance, you do not want to go up against another pirate captain that has Conqueror's Haki. Number one, because of that, and number two, it's basically like adding an extra little bit of damage to all your weapons. So most people with Conqueror's Haki, also known as Color of the King, will add this on top of their armament Haki, and it will make those attacks slightly stronger. Now, the people that we've seen use Conqueror's Haki, oh my god, there's quite a bit, actually. Like Gold Roger, Kaido, Luffy, Big Mom, Katakuri again, Zoro. There's just so many characters that have Conqueror's Haki. And there are also characters that we've seen not have Conqueror's Haki that I feel like should. Kid being one of them. But we all know Kid wasn't that guy, because he came to the new world not knowing any Haki, which ties into the reasoning that Haki is so important. Kid is a great example of why you need Haki. Number one, this dude, I gotta respect it, because he challenged Shanks, got mopped, lost the arm for it. Kaido pulled up, got mopped again, and it didn't stop this man. Went up to the mountains, to the top of Onigashima, was like, run it back. Couldn't really do anything to Kaido, but then fighting Big Mom, still without Haki, and it feels like he did have a form of Haki, but he doesn't know how to use it. it feels like he does have Conqueror's Haki, but he doesn't know how to use it. Whereas someone like Luffy was trained by the Dark King for 2 years on how to use this. Kid is just a perfect example of why you need Haki. And him going up against Shanks again, it completely just, it's just, that is the reason why you need Conqueror's Haki. Because if you don't have it and someone against you does, it's damn near guaranteeing you're gonna take a L. And I feel like the most important part of Haki is that it's free. It's literally free. Anybody can learn it. If they have enough willpower, they can learn it. Conqueror's Haki is the hardest, but even for someone, Kobe at the beginning of the show was a little bitch boy. Now look at Kobe. Look at him. He even has Conqueror's Haki. So that's why I say anyone can use Conqueror's Haki. You just have to have enough willpower to learn it. That's the best part of Haki, is that anyone can learn it. That's why it's arguably better than the Devil Fruit, because there's no drawbacks. There's no I can't use water or I can't be in water. None of that. Just you learning Haki and you have it forever. Now, how strong that Haki is up to you, because you have to train it. All these high level characters have this strong Haki because they trained it over long periods of time in fierce battles. But that's what Haki is. That's why it's so important. And that's just it. That's what makes Haki better than Devil Fruits. That's all I got. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Also, this is who I was drawing. If you like it, leave a like. If you have any comments about the drawing or any other commentary, please comment down below. I would love to hear it. And I'll see y'all in the next one.